Just add water to the container.
Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Prasar Bharati. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's President Draupadi Murmu addresses joint sitting of Parliament today. Congratulates all newly elected MPs and Lords Election Commission for successfully conducting the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Says upcoming budget will be a document of futuristic vision. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump to meet on a debate stage on Thursday for first of two televised face-offs. European Union leaders set to finalize strategic direction for EU and appoint leaders for its institutions over the next 5 years. India's President Draupadi Murmu addressed the joint sitting of Parliament on Thursday and congratulated all newly elected MPs. She said that the country created several records in general elections 2024 and the entire world is talking about it. She lauded the Election Commission for successfully conducting the 2024 Lok Sabha elections and said this time Kashmir Valley gave a befitting reply to India's enemies with record voter turnout.
इस बार भी महिलाओं ने बढ़ चढ़कर मतदान में हिस्सा लिया है। इस चुनाव की बहुत सुखद तस्वीर जम्मू कश्मीर में भी सामने आए हैं। कश्मीर घाटी में वोटिंग के अनेक दशकों के रिकॉर्ड टूटे हैं। बीते 4 दशकों में कश्मीर में हमने बंद और हड़ताल के बीच कम मतदान का दौर ही देखा था। भारत के दुश्मन इसको वैश्विक मंचों पर जम्मू कश्मीर की राय के रूप में दुष्प्रचारित करते रहे, लेकिन इस बार कश्मीर घाटी ने देश और दुनिया में ऐसे हार ताकत को करारा जवाब दिया है।
President Murmu talked about the achievements of the government and said the upcoming budget will be a document of futuristic vision. President Murmu noted that in 10 years, the country has risen from 11th position to become the 5th largest economy. She said that India achieved this feat despite a pandemic and conflicts in different parts of the world. She also asserted that the government is striving to make India the 3rd largest economy in the world.
आज भारत अकेले ही दुनिया की ग्रोथ में 15% का योगदान दे रही है। अब मेरी सरकार भारत को विश्व की 3रे नंबर की इकोनॉमी बनाने में जुटी हुई है।
President Draupadi Murmu stressed the government's unwavering faith in the constitution while slamming the emergency as the biggest and darkest chapter of direct attack on the constitution.
25 जून 1975 को लागू हुआ आपातकाल संविधान पर सीधे हमले का सबसे बड़ा और काला अध्याय था। तो पूरे देश में हाहाकार मच गया था, लेकिन ऐसी असंवैधानिक ताकतों पर देश ने विजय प्राप्त करके दिखाया, क्योंकि भारत के मूल में गणतंत्र की परंपराएं रही है। मेरी सरकार भी भारत के संविधान को सिर्फ राजकाज का माध्यम भर नहीं मानती, बल्कि हमारा संविधान जन चेतना का हिस्सा हो, इसके लिए हम प्रयास कर रहे हैं।
Proceedings of the upper house of parliament began today. Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar informed to the House the appointment of Union Minister and BJP MP Jagat Prakash Nadda as the leader of the House. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday introduced his Council of Ministers in Rajya Sabha. The Prime Minister had introduced his Council of Ministers in the lower house on Wednesday after the election of the Speaker. India retained its leading position in the emerging markets league table, achieving a composite score of 70 out of 100. This marked the 6th consecutive month that India has claimed the top spot, having held this position for 13 out of last 15 months. The country's strong export growth and stock market performance, bolstered by robust GDP growth, have contributed to its dominance among emerging markets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hailed the rising visibility of Indian universities on global stage. The Prime Minister also highlighted the government's commitment to quality education and providing opportunities for growth and innovation. Sharing a post on X by Chief Global Affairs Officer at Times Higher Education, Mr. Phil Beatty, the Prime Minister said, "Great to see India's universities making strides on a global stage. Our commitment to quality education is yielding encouraging results. We will continue to support our educational institutions and provide opportunities for growth and innovation. This will help our youth greatly." All right, news from the United States now. In the country, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will meet on a debate stage on Thursday for the first of 2 televised face-offs. The debate could prove critical in their tight rematch race to win the White House in November. More than 4 months ahead of the November 5 vote, the debate will be the earliest presidential debate in modern US history. Biden's campaign is hoping to talk about abortion and Trump's about immigration. But debate moderators will decide the questions. All right. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour leader Keir Starmer clashed repeatedly in their last head-to-head debate of the election campaign due next Thursday. The debate was mainly focused over election betting, Partygate, taxation, benefits and immigration. Sunak repeatedly urged viewers not to surrender public policy to the Labour Party, while Starmer accused Sunak of being out of touch. Both launched highly personal attacks over their and their party's credibility too.
We had an independent internal inquiry into what happened, have taken action and suspended the candidates involved, and I've been crystal clear that they should face the full consequences of the law. But Keir Starmer talks about leadership in politics. I also think leadership means being straight with people. It means having the courage of your convictions, not changing your mind on every single position that you've taken.
Last week in the Gambling Commission, we saw Partygate. Earlier in this Parliament, the Prime Minister himself was convicted and fined for breaking the rules which he brought in and imposed on everybody else. And of course, we've seen what happened with the COVID contracts and the huge amounts of money that were made. This takes leadership. What I did when one of my team was alleged to have been involved and investigated by the Gambling Commission, they were suspended within minutes.
Let's now take a look back at the big moments from the UK campaign trail so far before the elections on July 4. DDN's Ollie Barrett reports from London.
Well, this is an election campaign which in recent days has been very much dominated by allegations of a betting scandal in British politics, claims that some candidates and party officials and even police officials too have been making bets on either the date of the general election before it was called or indeed some of the elements of the results of the election. That's led to all sorts of questions for party leaders about whether politics and betting need to be more regulated, whether they need to be clearer rules for politicians about what they can or can't, should or shouldn't be placing bets on. And that has just rather overshadowed a lot of the talk around policy in recent days. The Conservatives would much rather be making claims about taxation and warning against the dangers of a Labour administration. The Labour Party would much rather probably be making arguments around the economic mismanagement, for example, that they say the Conservatives have been guilty of, and the need for change in the country that they say is so required after 14 years of Conservative Party rule. But that betting scandal has dominated a lot of the conversation. The Conservatives have also struggled during this election campaign with the rise of the right of centre Reform UK party led by Nigel Farage. One interesting thing to watch out for after the votes start being counted on July the 4th into July the 5th is whether a Reform UK vote share nationwide that could be up around 10, 15, 20%, whether that actually translates into many seats at Westminster for MPs under Britain's first past the post system. The Labour Party is way out in front of the Conservatives, according to all of the polling that we have been seeing recently, and so that does suggest that Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, is likely to be the next Prime Minister after 14 years in one form or another of Conservative Party rule. But Rishi Sunak and his Conservative Party say, despite their warnings of the dangers of a large Labour majority, they say they are not yet giving up with a week to go. Ollie Barrett in London reporting for DD India.
France's left-wing parties have united in the country's upcoming parliamentary election in an effort to block the far right's path to power. France is the closest it has been to having a far-right government since World War II, with the anti-immigrant National Rally riding high in opinion polls ahead of a snap legislative election on June 30th and June 7th. Running under the newly founded coalition, New Popular Front, the parties are consistently polling second only to the far-right National Rally and ahead of President Emmanuel Macron's current majority party. One of the left's main figures is Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who is regarded as one of the frontrunners for the post. Former French President François Hollande from the Socialist Party has also put his bid in the game. Earlier, France's government ordered the dissolution of extreme right and radical Muslim groups 4 days before the first round of legislative elections. The French election will take place in 2 rounds, with the first on June 30th and the final vote on July 7th. European Union leaders are set to finalize on Thursday the strategic direction for the EU and appoint leaders for its institutions over the next 5 years, with specific emphasis on Ukraine and enhancing the EU's defense capabilities. The agenda aims to assist the incoming head of the European Commission, who is expected to assume office in October, in preparing a detailed work plan. The 27 national leaders are likely to endorse Ursula von der Leyen of Germany for a second term as President of the Commission. DD India correspondent Alex Cadier gives us more updates from Brussels.
Well, Ollie, we've actually just heard from President Zelensky himself, who was addressing the press with the outgoing Council President Charles Michel. President Zelensky expressing his gratitude for the support from European partners, and Charles Michel talking about that security agreement. Now, it is the formalizing of a support that has already been very present by the European Union, offering financial support, loans, structural support, and of course civil servants from all sides working together to try and strengthen Ukraine's defenses, but also Ukraine's day-to-day running as a state. And this security agreement will continue that support from the European Union. No firm commitment on a number, money-wise, or particular supply of weapons has been made, but it is the formalizing. Charles Michel said it was a proof that the European Union will stand by Ukraine for as long as it takes, but the Ukrainian president still taking the opportunity to say that Ukraine does need more, does want to move towards those next steps of getting more air defenses. We've seen energy infrastructure there being targeted, so clearly it is the formalizing of already very prominent support by the EU for Ukraine. Ollie.
The Kremlin said on Thursday that Russia is considering a possible downgrading of diplomatic relations with the West due to the hostile approach of the United States and its allies to Moscow in the Ukrainian crisis, though no decision has yet been made on the matter. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters, when asked about the possibility of such a move, that Russia was considering different ways to respond to the West. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Bolivian government says army under control after coup attempt. Police officers and protesters clashed in the central business district of Nairobi. More details ahead. The Central Bureau of Investigation arrests 2 persons from Bihar's Patna in connection with alleged irregularities in the NEET UG exam.
This week on Defence Dynamics, our special program is on India's formidable light combat helicopter, the Prasar. We get to you the finer details that you always wanted to know. Watch us on DD India every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. IST.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Bolivian government said army under control after coup attempt. Defense Minister Edmundo Novello also assured the nation on Wednesday that those responsible for the attempted coup will face justice. A restive calm returned to the central Plaza Murillo Square in La Paz after Bolivian armed forces pulled back from the presidential palace and a general was arrested. Tensions have been building in Bolivia ahead of general elections in 2025 with severe economic crisis as two political parties battle for control of the ruling party.
Those responsible will have to face all the consequences, both in civilian justice and also in the realm of military justice. In that regard, I want to inform the Bolivian people about what has happened between yesterday and today with our armed forces, of which I am in command as a minister. It is due to some bad soldiers. It is a disgrace and a dark stain.
Para nuestras Fuerzas Armadas.
Russia on Thursday strongly condemned the attempted coup in Bolivia and called on other countries to refrain from interfering in the country's internal affairs. It also said that it hoped calm would be restored in the region. Russian Foreign Ministry also said that the country extended its unwavering support to the government of President Luis Arce. It also said that Bolivia should deal with their problems within the framework of constitutional legality. And police officers and protesters clashed in the central business district of Nairobi on Thursday. Police deployed tear gas in attempts to disperse the crowds of anti-government protesters and made arrests. The anger over the tax hikes has led to the most serious crisis in Ruto's two-year presidency, with especially young people taking to the streets in protest, even after President William Ruto backed down on planned tax hikes in the face of public outrage. More than a dozen people died and hundreds more injured after protesters took to the streets to oppose tax increases on essential items. Police were seen firing off tear gas in Nairobi's central business district in attempts to disperse protesters on Thursday, despite the president's climb down on proposed tax hikes. And DD India's Isaac Lucando sent us this report from Dar es Salaam in neighboring Tanzania.
President William Ruto is facing a major crisis 2 years into his presidency. Youth-led protests have grown from online complaints about tax hikes into large rallies demanding political change. After the protests intensified, Ruto decided not to sign the tax hikes into law. Some supporters say their goals have been met and will not protest further. Others insist they will continue until Ruto resigns. Both police and the military have blocked roads to the State House and Parliament, and many shops stay closed, fearing more unrest. In a speech, President Ruto defended the proposed tax increases, but admitted the public rejected the bill. He promised to talk with young people and start budget cuts. The protests, unlike previous instances in Kenya, have no clear leaders. Demonstrations have attracted thousands who are angry about a hike in living costs and corruption. The Kenya Medical Association has reported 23 deaths and 30 people with bullet wounds, with many others injured. Isaac Lucando in Dar es Salaam, reporting for DD India.
All right, let's take a look at other stories making news today. The Central Bureau of Investigation on Thursday arrested two persons from Bihar's Patna in connection with the alleged irregularities in NEET UG exam. The arrested individuals are identified as Manish Prakash and Ashutosh. These are the first arrests made by the CBI in NEET paper leak case. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar replied to Southern State of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's letter regarding the detention of Indian fishermen by Sri Lanka. Dr. Jaishankar assured CM Stalin that Indian government is taking all necessary steps to secure the release of the fishermen and their boats. Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul inaugurated the National Consultation on Legal Environment Assessment for One Health activities in India's New Delhi. The two-day workshop aims to discuss strengths, gaps and overlaps in the existing laws and regulations that impact One Health activities. The penultimate match of an engrossing T20 World Cup will see India facing England in the second semi-final at Providence Stadium on Thursday. However, heavy rain is predicted during the second semi-final in Guyana.
Following their impressive victory over Australia in the final group stage match, India has avenged their 2023 ODI World Cup defeat at home. Now they seek redemption against England, facing them in the T20 World Cup semi-finals at the rain-threatened Providence Stadium in Guyana. However, concerns loom over the form of star batter Virat Kohli, who hasn't had a great run in the World Cup. India have been unbeaten so far, defeating Ireland, Pakistan and USA in the group stage, with their match against Canada washed out by rain. In the Super 8 stage, they registered comfortable wins over Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Australia. This time, India boasts more batting firepower, more middle-over options and a varied attack.
We want to be a smart cricket team. We want to assess and play. It's a knockout game. We want to think about how well we can play and what we can do as a team. At the end of the day, you've got to play good cricket to win cricket game. We'll focus on how we can play this game well and get the results in our favor. That's what we'll be focusing on. At the end of the day, two good cricket teams are going to play. So it's going to be a great game. Indian cricket team goes through a very high pressure situations most of the time. This format is all about confidence. As long as you are confident in what you want to do, you are putting you're putting the foot in the right direction.
But beating the defending champion won't be easy. England, just 2 games away from becoming the first men's team to retain a T20 World Cup, are a formidable opponent.
There's a general feeling that our best cricket is in front of us. I think we've been pretty good in patches. We've done some really good stuff over here, but we haven't put together that perfect game. So with a bit of luck, that happens against India. It's certainly going to be a great occasion. They're a very strong unit, and they present a massive challenge for us, but one that we're very excited to take on. Both teams, we're going to go out there and throw punches at each other for 40 odd overs. So it's going to be a great contest.
Meanwhile, there is a heavy rain forecast for the second semi-final in Guyana. India and England have played 23 T20 international. Out of that, India have won 12. But they haven't claimed this tournament since its inception in 2007. Who will emerge victorious in this high-stake clash? Watch as these two cricketing powerhouses clash for a spot in the T20 World Cup final. With camera person S. Jayashankar, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Guyana.
All right, and DD India correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya joins us live from Guyana. Hello Tapas. India versus England reminds us of the previous encounter between the two sides. It's semi-final clash. It's T20 World Cup.
Everybody.
Definitely.
Yes, everybody is in fact talking about that, Siddharth.
All right.
Everybody's talking about that. I have with me some of the fans. Let me ask them about that also.
Yeah.
India, England, 2022 semi-final, Adelaide. Do you think this time India will be able to take revenge of that?
Absolutely, there is no doubt about that. There is zero doubt about that. India is too strong for them.
Okay, what about you?
Today is the India's day. Rain happened because of the India is going to win.
What about you, sir?
India all the way.
Who do you think will be the main factor, main batsman or bowler from Indian side to make it count?
Bumrah and King Kohli.
King Kohli, are you guys all King Kohli fans?
Yeah!
All right.
You see, Siddharth,
that's lovely.
They are all King Kohli fan. And just to put it in perspective, Siddharth, it's 2 years back, Indian team lost out to Australia in the semi-finals, and from then onwards, the template of T20 cricket, in fact, ODI cricket for that matter, has underwent a major change. India now are on an ultra-attacking mode, and that we saw that in the match against Australia, where Rohit Sharma went absolutely berserk
in
with
fact,
the way they went ahead. So we believe.
In fact, the fan is showing something in the at the back.
Right. You see, it's written "Jeetega to India hi."
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yep. Today is the India day.
Dhyan se Kohli. See, all of them are Kohli fans.
Indeed.
India fans are coming all the way from where exactly coming from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey coming here, and they will be also going to final. So you imagine the kind of excitement and the thrill these fans are. They are what you call the 12th man of Indian team.
Indeed.
They go everywhere the team goes. So sir, from where are you guys?
New Jersey.
All of you are.
Yes, we're all from.
Tapas,
These are King Kohli fans. Do you believe that Rohit Sharma will also play a major role?
Tapas.
Look at this.
You see, Siddharth.
Yeah, I can see the excitement amongst the fans. These fans are from New Jersey and donning India's jersey. That's absolutely wonderful. But very quickly, Tapas, what is the weather report?
Well, we saw rainfall. There's a massive outpour took place just half an hour back. In fact, the whole stadium is right now it's drenched. But sun is coming out. There are patches of cloud, so we believe that there will be start-stop sort of a match that will happen. But I believe that the match will start on time if there is no more rainfall. And this particular ground is they have all the amenities to clear the rainwater that accumulates in the stadium. So we believe that the match will start on time, and it's going to be a cracker of a contest that we are expecting. Though there might be some interruption, rain interruption in the match as we progress.
Okay, we all hope, Tapas, that match starts, as per the time which has mentioned. But thank you so much for all those details. We'll keep taking updates from you. Thank you so much this time around. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, DC.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.